The California sun, a blazing orange orb sinking towards the Pacific, cast long shadows across the minimalist expanse of Elon Musk's office. Sleek, white surfaces gleamed under the fading light, broken only by the stark black of a single, imposing gaming rig in the corner. Elon, clad in a simple black t-shirt and jeans, paced restlessly, the faintest outline of a freshly shaved patch visible beneath his tousled hair. He ran a hand over the smooth skin, fingers tracing the barely perceptible bump of the Neuralink chip nestled beneath. Tonight was the night. No more clunky controllers, no more laggy keyboards. Tonight, he would become one with the game. Tonight, he would conquer Call of Duty with the power of his mind. A surge of adrenaline pulsed through him. This wasn't just about gaming, this was about the future. This was about pushing the boundaries of human potential, about merging man and machine in a glorious symphony of consciousness and code. He, Elon Musk, would be the pioneer, the trailblazer, leading humanity into a new era of digital enlightenment. With a determined glint in his eye, he strode towards the gaming rig. The chair, a marvel of ergonomic engineering, enveloped him like a second skin. He adjusted the headset, the cool metal a stark contrast to the warmth of his skin. The screen flickered to life, the familiar Call of Duty logo emblazoned across it. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and focused. The world dissolved. The sterile white of his office melted away, replaced by the gritty realism of a war-torn city. He was no longer Elon Musk, tech mogul and visionary. He was a soldier, a weapon, a force to be reckoned with. He could feel the weight of the rifle in his hands, the grit of the sand beneath his boots. He could smell the acrid smoke, hear the deafening roar of gunfire. And then, he moved. Not with his hands, not with a joystick, but with his mind. He willed his character forward, feeling the surge of power as his avatar responded instantly to his thoughts. He aimed, fired, and watched in awe as his enemy fell, a virtual casualty of his newfound mental prowess. A grin spread across his face. This was it. This was the future. This was awesome. The virtual battlefield raged around him, a chaotic symphony of explosions, gunfire, and frantic shouts. Elon, immersed in the digital fray, felt his heart pounding in his chest. He weaved through crumbling buildings, his mind a whirlwind of tactical calculations. He was in the zone, his consciousness seamlessly intertwined with his digital avatar. He lined up a shot, his virtual crosshairs settling on an enemy soldier sprinting across an open courtyard. But then, a stray thought flickered across his mind. Dogecoin. The price had been volatile all day, a roller coaster of peaks and dips. He'd been glued to the charts, obsessing over every fractional movement. Was it going to break through that resistance level? Should he buy more? His concentration wavered. His finger, or rather, his mind, twitched on the trigger. The virtual gun roared, the recoil jolting him back to reality. But it was too late. The bullet, intended for the enemy soldier, found a different target. A cry of anguish echoed through his headset. Friendly fire. What the hell, man? Elon stared at the screen in horror. His teammate, a pixelated figure slumped against a virtual wall, dissolved into a cloud of digital smoke. Oops, he mumbled, the taste of shame bitter in his mouth. He tried to refocus, to push the Dogecoin distractions aside, but the damage was done. The flow was broken, the delicate connection between mind and machine disrupted. The atmosphere in the Neuralink gaming lab was thick with anticipation. Elon, determined to redeem himself, had assembled a team for a private match. Grimes, her vibrant pink hair a stark contrast to the sterile white walls, sat beside him, a playful smirk on her face. Across from them, two Neuralink engineers, faces illuminated by the flickering screens, nervously adjusted their headsets. "All right, guys," Elon announced, his voice brimming with forced confidence, "let's show them how it's done." He launched into the game, his mind once again merging with the digital world. This time, he would be flawless. This time, there would be no Dogecoin distractions. The match began. Elon, fueled by a potent cocktail of caffeine and ego, was unstoppable. He darted through the virtual environment, his mind a blur of strategic maneuvers. He took down enemies with ruthless efficiency, his virtual kill count steadily climbing. He was back in the zone, the god of the digital battlefield. Then, it happened again. A news alert flashed across his phone, a notification about a sudden surge in Dogecoin's value. To the moon, it proclaimed. Elon's mind, like a dog chasing a squirrel, couldn't resist the distraction. His focus slipped, his control faltered. A scream pierced the silence of the lab. Grimes, her character engulfed in a virtual explosion, ripped off her headset, her face a mask of disbelief. "Elon," she shrieked, "you killed me." Again. The two engineers stared at him, a mixture of fear and amusement in their eyes. Elon, his face burning with shame, could only offer a weak apology. "Sorry, babe," he mumbled, "I was, just thinking about something." The air hung heavy with awkward silence. Grimes, her arms crossed, fixed him with a withering glare. Elon, under the weight of her disapproval, felt like a schoolboy caught cheating on a test. He knew he had to get a grip, to conquer this Dogecoin obsession before it ruined everything. The roar of the crowd was deafening, a tidal wave of cheers and jeers washing over Elon. He sat on the stage, bathed in the harsh glare of the spotlights, his headset a beacon of technological prowess. Around him, the other competitors, some seasoned gamers, some Neuralink newbies, fidgeted nervously. This wasn't just a casual match, this was the Neuralink Champions League, a high-stakes tournament with a hefty prize pool and bragging rights for the victor. Elon, fueled by a burning desire to prove himself, ignored the pressure. He dove headfirst into the virtual arena, his mind a razor-sharp instrument of destruction. He was a digital whirlwind, his character flitting across the screen, leaving a trail of virtual corpses in his wake. The crowd roared its approval, their cheers echoing through the stadium. He was dominating, annihilating the competition. Victory was within his grasp. Then, like a rogue algorithm, Dogecoin reared its head again. A ticker tape of price updates scrolled across his mind's eye, distracting him from the task at hand. His concentration fractured, his control faltered. His character, once a precision instrument of virtual warfare, became erratic, unpredictable. He spun wildly, firing blindly, his virtual bullets finding their marks with alarming inaccuracy. One by one, his teammates fell, victims of his Dogecoin-induced frenzy. The cheers turned to groans, the excitement to disbelief. His team, once on the cusp of victory, crumbled under the weight of his mental misfires. "Musk, what the hell are you doing?" a teammate's voice crackled through his headset, laced with frustration and disbelief. The screen faded to black. "You have been eliminated," a robotic voice declared, the finality of the words echoing the crushing weight of his defeat. He ripped off his headset, the roar of the disappointed crowd washing over him. He had choked, and he knew it. Dogecoin, his digital Achilles heel, had struck again. Back in the sanctuary of his office, the sting of defeat still fresh, Elon slumped in his chair, staring at the glowing graphs on his computer screen. Rows of data scrolled past, a testament to his erratic neural activity during the tournament. He zoomed in, analyzing the spikes and dips, searching for answers. And then he saw it. A clear pattern emerged, a correlation between his mental lapses and his thoughts of Dogecoin. Every time the cryptocurrency crossed his mind, his brainwaves went haywire, disrupting the delicate balance of the Neuralink system. He was a prisoner of his own obsession, a slave to the volatile whims of the crypto market. Frustration gnawed at him. He tried to suppress the thoughts, to banish Dogecoin from his mind, but it was like trying to hold back a sneeze. The more he resisted, the stronger the urge became. He was trapped in a vicious cycle, his ambition thwarted by his own uncontrollable impulses. He needed a solution, and he needed it fast. The dimly lit laboratory hummed with an eerie energy, a strange blend of scientific rigor and eccentric chaos. Beakers bubbled, wires snaked across the floor, and the air crackled with the faint scent of ozone. Dar. Anya Petrova, a neuroscientist whose brilliance was matched only by her eccentricities, paced excitedly around Elon, her thick Russian accent filling the room. "Elon, my dear boy," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with manic energy, "we have a solution. A most unorthodox solution, I must admit, but a solution nonetheless." Elon, perched precariously on a stool, eyed the contraption before him with a mixture of trepidation and hope. It was a bizarre assemblage of wires, electrodes, and what appeared to be a repurposed kitchen blender. "And this is going to work?" he asked, his voice laced with skepticism. "Of course, it will work." Dr. Petrova scoffed, adjusting a dial with a flourish. "I have designed a specialized filter, a neural dampener, if you will, that will block those pesky Dogecoin impulses from interfering with your gaming prowess. Think of it as a mental firewall, protecting your precious concentration from the volatile tides of the crypto market." Elon, despite his reservations, couldn't help but be impressed by Dr. Petrova's conviction. He had sought her out after his disastrous tournament performance, desperate for a solution to his Dogecoin dilemma. She was a legend in the neuroscience community, a maverick who pushed the boundaries of brain-computer interface technology. If anyone could help him, it was her. "All right, Dr. Petrova," he said, steeling his nerves, "let's do this." The virtual world shimmered into existence, sharper, clearer than ever before. Elon, back in his gaming chair, felt a surge of exhilaration. The Dogecoin filter, a tiny addition to his Neuralink chip, was working. He was in control, his mind free from the distractions that had plagued him before. He moved through the digital battlefield with newfound precision, his actions fluid, his aim deadly. He was a predator, a ghost, his enemies falling before him like virtual dominoes. He racked up kill after kill, his score soaring, his team cheering his every move. He was unstoppable, a force of nature unleashed upon the digital world. Days turned into nights, victories piled upon victories. Elon, consumed by his newfound mastery, barely left his gaming rig. He ate, slept, and breathed Call of Duty, his real life fading into the background as he immersed himself in the virtual realm. He was a legend, a champion, his name whispered in awe by gamers around the world. But as his winning streak continued, a subtle shift occurred. The filter, once a source of liberation, began to feel like a constraint. He missed the thrill of the Dogecoin roller coaster, the adrenaline rush of the crypto market. He missed the feeling of his mind racing, his thoughts firing on all cylinders. He missed the chaos. The filter, pushed to its limits by Elon's relentless gaming and his subconscious yearning for the chaotic energy of the crypto markets, started to malfunction. Instead of suppressing his Dogecoin thoughts, it began to amplify them, twisting them into a monstrous obsession. Elon, mid-match, felt a surge of overwhelming energy. The familiar world of the game warped and distorted around him, the colors intensifying, the sounds growing louder, more chaotic. His character, no longer under his conscious control, began to move erratically, firing wildly in all directions. "Whoa, what's happening?" he yelled, his voice a mixture of fear and exhilaration. He tried to regain control, to reign in his rogue avatar, but it was no use. His mind, flooded with Dogecoin-fueled energy, was a runaway train, careening off the tracks. His character became a digital agent of chaos, a force of pure, unadulterated destruction. He rampaged through the virtual world, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. He blew up vehicles, toppled buildings, and even obliterated the virtual landscape itself, leaving gaping craters where once there were mountains and valleys. The game, unable to cope with the onslaught, sputtered and groaned, its code straining under the pressure. Then, with a final, earth-shattering explosion, the screen went black. Elon jolted awake, his heart pounding in his chest. The room was filled with the acrid smell of burnt electronics, smoke curling from the overloaded gaming rig. He stumbled out of the chair, his legs shaky, his mind reeling. He had never experienced anything like it, a terrifying yet exhilarating blend of power and chaos. He stared at the wreckage of his gaming setup, a twisted mass of melted plastic and scorched metal. It was a testament to the raw power of his mind, amplified by the malfunctioning filter and fueled by his obsession with Dogecoin. He had pushed the boundaries of the Neuralink technology further than anyone had ever dared, and the consequences were both terrifying and exhilarating. He felt a strange sense of satisfaction, a perverse pride in the chaos he had unleashed. He had become a digital god, a destroyer of worlds, all thanks to his unwavering belief in the power of Dogecoin. The news reports flashed across the screen, a cacophony of panicked voices and alarming headlines. Neuralink causes global gaming meltdown, screamed one. Musk's mind melts servers, declared another. Images of crashed servers, frustrated gamers, and Elon's own bewildered face filled the screen. Elon, watching from the comfort of his restored office, couldn't help but smirk. He had caused a global incident, a digital apocalypse, all because of his love for a meme-based cryptocurrency. It was absurd, ridiculous, and utterly brilliant. He pulled out his phone, his fingers trembling with anticipation. He opened the Dogecoin price chart, his eyes widening as he saw the green candle shooting to the moon. The chaos, the destruction, the global meltdown, it had all been worth it. To the moon, he whispered, a mischievous glint in his eye, as the screen faded to black, leaving the world to ponder the unpredictable consequences of merging man, machine, and meme.